Let's get a quick take on the recall effort aimed at 3 members of the Jefferson County School Board. The 3 conservative members of the board are targets of the proposed recall and a rally event to collect signatures this week, some more than 2,000 supporters. Patty Calhoun from Westford, I guess we could say we may have seen this coming. It's not like this has been a bashful group on the school board, but 2,000 people at the rally event seemed significant. What do you think?
Well, and it's not like recalls haven't been popular in Colorado lately, so they didn't get this out of thin air. I think we can probably say so long to Julie Williams pretty soon. She seems to be the one who cannot master her Facebook account. You know, she and George Brockler have their social media problems. And she is certainly the one who has a tougher time arguing her position. The other 2, although conservative, are, I think, good, solid school board members, and I don't think they'll be recalled. But I do think this is going to go pretty far.
David Kopel from the Independence Institute and DU Law School. What do you think about what Patty said? Is it going to be separated out? I mean, we're assuming that the 15,000 signatures per person can happen. But if it does, do you think voters would be picky between the 3, or will it be a yes on 3 or no on 3?
Hopefully they'll distinguish, and as Patty said, I think Julie Williams is by far the least capable member of that group, and the one who's gotten the rest of the board in trouble with a lot of foolish, barely thought out ideas she has expressed inappropriately. An interesting thing about the petitions is that Colorado statutes 1-12-103 says that on a recall petition, the general statement may not contain any profane or false statements. Now, the petition's very good. There's no profanity in it. But it actually has very few, if any, true statements. It's mostly false. So, for example, it says that the new superintendent is getting paid $80,000 more than the old superintendent. Well, that's if you don't count the benefits the old one got, and you do count the benefits that the new one got. It likewise says 700 teachers left because of the new board majority. Well, that's really about the size of annual turnover they have anyway. Now, to the extent, if I don't know if annual turnover is 550 and 700 left, then maybe you'd say there was an excess of 150. I don't know the exact figures, but it's a lie to say that all 700 left because of the new board majority.
Penfield Tate, longtime state lawmaker and attorney with Greenberg Traurig. A few years back, when Republicans were using the whole recall effort, it was progressives rather saying, this is terrible, this is not what politics is about, and then what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and we're hearing it right back. What do you think the results will be from the recall effort?
Well, you know, I think it's a typical example of be careful what you wish for, what you use, it may be turned on you. David raises some very interesting and specific points, none of which I think matter at all. I think it's hard to tell, but I'm getting the sense that what's happening out there in JeffCo is such a level of discontent. I'm not convinced voters are going to distinguish. I'm not convinced voters are going to look at Julie Williams relative to Witt or the others. I think they're going to say, you know what, this whole thing is such a mess. We're so angry that it's time to do something. We voted them in. We're just taking them all out right now and trying to get to a different place and see if we can reset this board and the relationship and the operation of our schools and get a better result. So it'll be interesting to watch, but if I had to wager right now, I'd bet on all 3 of them being recalled.
Ed Seelever from the Denver Business Journal, wrap it up for us.
Well, I'm going to go the exact opposite way of Penn, and here is why. Back in 2014, I talked to the AFL-CIO a little bit about their campaign strategies in JeffCo specifically, which was a key swing county. And they said there was such anger that we were really bringing that up. The school board, hey, do you want more of the Republicans like the school board has given us? Well, Republicans had a great year in 2014 in the elections out there. I mean, people like Laura Woods, who's nowhere close to a moderate, got elected in JeffCo. I wonder if this is another example of small but loud groups saying, let's get rid of them. I mean, and this is going to be a very small turnout election that we're going to see here because it's not planned for the 2016 general ballot. So I think it's going to be tough. I mean, recalls are, as Patty said, the hip thing to do in Colorado right now. I also question if this does work, is anyone in JeffCo going to be safe to serve out their entire term if they say controversial things?